Welcome to Section 2 of the Online Guide to Employment Law. This section tells the stories of agency workers Lydia, Viv and Christoph. Please listen to their stories and think about how the agency workers' regulations might protect them. Also, listen to what Usdaw reps have to say.
The best thing about working here? I like the people and I like the radio when I work. I don't want to leave. I like it here. I said no to different job because I know I'll not be happy there. No fun. It's better here than last job. A last job, they take money off for bus to work. £10 a day. When I live in shed house, they take money for rent too. The worst thing is you never know when you work. I check the board every night. If I'm on it, I'm working. If not, no work next day. If lucky, maybe work day after. You don't know when you stop. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you never know. On my day off, I come into work if I'm asked. If I don't, I'm afraid not asked again. You know you're being watched. You have to work hard or not ask back for work. My friend went to toilet and was told off for taking too long. I work so hard. I'm very, very tired when I go home. All agency wants to be permanent. When we ask, always it is no. More and more it is agency here. I don't know why we are treated differently. Cause staff gets smaller and they get paid more. We work hard and are paid less. A lot less. It's difficult because I have bills to pay and sometimes I can't pay them. You never know what you're going to earn. Some people only get 3 days work. We are told there is new law, but there's only after 3 months work. We worry because we are sent home and then re-employed. We were told this was wrong, was an error. Maybe things will get better with new law, but I'm not sure. At least with this job, they pay right and they pay on time. I'm luckier than some.
I was made redundant from my last job. It was well paid and I was really happy there. The factory shut down and we all lost our jobs. It was a bad time. I don't want to work for the agency, but I've got no choice. It's that or be kicked out of my house. What would you do? I was in the union in my last job, but I've been warned off it here. Keep your head down and don't make a fuss, is what I've been told. If you stand out, they'll just call up the agency and tell them they don't want you. That happened to a mate. He asked for some safety shoes because he was doing a lot of lifting and heavy carrying. Drop a 20k box on your foot and you'll know about it. He asked and was told to go and buy some yourself. He complained. His name was never on the list again. I can cope with the crap job and even the crap pay, but what really gets me is not knowing when I'm working. Last week, I did Monday and Tuesday days, nothing Wednesday and Thursday, then Friday and Saturday I got nights. In the end, 4 shifts work and nothing else. 4 shifts decent pay is bad enough, but 4 shifts crap pay, you can't live on that. Kids' hospital appointments, forget about it. Days out in the holidays, no chance. You work when you're told or you're out on your ear. Another thing that really bugs me is that when I do a weekend or a night shift, I get paid the same rate. No premiums, no nothings. The permanents, they get paid extra for this, extra for that. I'm not saying that they should get paid less, but I don't see why I flog my guts out for so much less. We've been told that this site will close next year and we'll be moving to another one down the road. That's okay by me, as long as I've still got a job. We're told that it will all be agency on that site, no permanence at all. Everyone picking and loading will be agency. Someone has said it's a way around the new law. I don't know much about it, but she reckons that we should get paid the same as permanents. Well, if there are no permanents, then who are we compared to? It means that I've got no chance of a permanent job, doesn't it? Let's just hope something comes up.
I am Polish. I am living in this country for almost 5 years now. My first job in UK was in warehouse. I was working there for agency for 2 years with no prospect for contract, as when I was there they didn't recruit anyone. I was on different pay than my permanent colleagues, but I have to work faster than them. People who work for agency are different targets than permanent staff. So to keep our jobs safe, satisfy bosses, we have to work harder than permanent staff, even if we are being paid less. Nobody liked that situation, but on those days we had to accept it. I remember one day we had a visitor from union who tried to convince us to join. He asked what union can do for us. When we mentioned the situation we have, he says, if we join, he will try to fight in our case and convince our bosses to give us permanent contract. At first we were suspicious, as everyone was afraid about their job. But we decided to take risk, join in, and convince our bosses we are not happy with the situation. Because there was many of us who won this fight. Or should I say, the union won it for us. It is true that people say the unity is strength. After 2 years working through agency, we finally received contract. We were probably the first agency workers to join, as before us people didn't see any benefit of it. Now, 3 years later, I can see that in some places agency workers are still on different rights than others. Some agency workers still doing their job for years and still don't receive the contract. For me, joining the union was a very good decision. Union should recruit more agency workers as they are important as permanent staff. By recruiting them, we can change people's life.
There's a lot of polls at work and a lot of them are agency, and instead of calling them by their real names over the tannoys when they want to see them, they'd rather send them home, they call them by a number, like agency number 1 or agency number 5, because you come to the pick desk and normally they send them home. And the other issue with that is that they're agencies and they're only coming in for 4 hours and getting sent home, but they sometimes have to travel 20 miles to get to the workplace. They don't like being sent home early, obviously, because of the cost involved, so they're not actually making any money. And we just feel like they've been mistreated, and we need to get on top of that and try and fight for more rights for these guys on the agency.
To make sure that agency workers are not discriminated against. In other words, that will also protect our wages, terms and conditions, because there won't be a workforce on a lesser wage. It needs to be implemented as it was suggested, and we need to enforce the government to make sure that they police the whole situation.
We work in a distribution centre and we get like so many, say, pallets of stuff coming in a day, and we know it takes so many people to do that job. And once their job's done, they just send them home. They've got no rights, and they have no rights at all. Whereas I believe if they're employed to do an 8-hour day, they should get paid 8 hours regardless if they work or not.
We've got to get in there, and we've got to get in there now. We've got to do it not only to protect the agency workers, but to protect our present members on those jobs. These agency workers are not allowed to join trade unions. If there's a sniff that they've joined a trade union, then they'll just be ousted. We can't rely on that to stop this. We've got to do this ourselves from within, and we've got to make sure that the legislation as it was intended sticks.